is suing James Hughes and his wife, Penelope Dirksen Hughes, for the cost of a cat and vet bills.
Sancho, you purchased a kitten from the defendants. It was a Bengal kitten.
Correct, Your Honor.
They're very sweet animals. And you purchased the kitten from them on the 25th of March
Correct.
of this year. Is that correct?
Correct.
How much did you pay for the kitten?
$600.
And you found the egg where?
Online.
Do you have a written contract
Yes, we have a contract.
the defendants gave you? I'd like
Yes.
to see it.
Sure. Trying to find it. It's set.
Okay, this is the contract that you have. To the best of my knowledge, the above kitten is in good condition and health with no congenital defects. The purchaser, that would be you, must take the kitten to a professional veterinarian within 72 hours. If this veterinarian finds the above kitten to be in poor health or to have congenital defect, the purchaser must bring a signed statement for the veterinarian as to the problem within 72 hours of the purchase for a full refund. The breeder will not be responsible for any veterinary bills. After 72 hours, all sales are final, except for congenital defects, which are guaranteed for 1 year with written confirmation from a professional veterinarian. So this is what happened. You did not take the kitten to a veterinarian within 72 hours. That's clear
Because of
from your
COVID.
statement. Whatever the reason, when you purchased the kitten, the country was already in the midst of the pandemic, which according to you was one of the reasons you wanted the kitten.
Correct.
So you could have modified that contract when you signed it and said, if I can't get to a vet within 72 hours, can I have a week? But you didn't. You signed this contract. Several weeks later, you took the kitten to the vet, and according to you, the vet found that the kitten had suffered some sort of an infection which required surgery. It was expensive. They also took blood from the kitten and found that the kitten had some sort of a feline COVID. And you ultimately, after a lot of money in vet bills, decided that the kitten could not be saved and you had her euthanized.
Correct.
That's what happened.
Correct.
And you believe that the defendants should be responsible for your veterinary bills as well as a refund for the kitten.
Correct.
I don't see that, Ms. Aisha. You had a contract.
Yes, but I think because
You
of
had
the
a contract.
context, and also because she wasn't just having FIP, she had FIV, SCDs, several different illnesses that were from the chronic condition that she had when I got the cat.
Well, A, what you indicate in your complaint is that the defendants never had a blood test of the kitten.
Correct.
A blood test is not a usual test that breeders have of either kittens or puppies before they sell them. At whatever age they sell them, they very often have their vet checked and or have vaccinations. But breeders don't have a blood draw. I've certainly bought enough dogs and cats to know that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They didn't. Once you have a written one.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jessica Isham claims James Hughes and his wife, Penelope Dirksen Hughes, sold her a sick cat. Jessica says the cat had to be put down after only 2 months.
Now, what I found more interesting from the defendant's side is you called them several weeks later and told them about your first visit to the vet.
Right.
And at that time, despite the fact that they were under no contractual obligation to you, they said to you, we will give you a new kitten if you want.
I
But
didn't
you
want
could've
a
taken
cat
it
from
to
them
the vet.
because they sold me a sick cat. Because their environment is what induced her health issues.
You're not entitled to your vet bills and you're not entitled to a refund for the kitten because you had a contract and the contract was clear. Your obligation was to have the kitten vet checked within 72 hours. If, and I I don't mean to make you feel guilty, but if you had done that, it is possible that the kitten would not have had the kind of infection that it did if, in fact, it was in a cat fight, as you suggest that it was, and the fur was covering over this wound. But the vet, if it had been checked weeks earlier, might have found it before it infected it badly.
I wasn't
So,
able.
there's a, all right, you weren't able to because,
I was not able to make an appointment because most of the vets were closed. I got an appointment quickly after I realized that she was lethargic.
but Ms. Isham, that's not what your contract says. Your contract doesn't say that you have 72 hours after you notice some symptom of the kitten that you don't like. The contract that you had with the defendants is clear. It says your responsibility, if you want either a refund or a new kitten, your choice is to take the kitten to the vet within 72 hours of the purchase. You didn't do that, and
That
it's an
wasn't the
enforceable
context.
contract.
But that wasn't the context of
That
the
is what you mean.
environment.
I don't understand what you mean context. There is no context in a contract.
Well, then why
It's a
did they string
contract.
me along?
It's-
Like they were gonna help me. Like they gave me information about FIP and where to get medicine, and they kept, we'll get back to you. Oh, we'll help you. Oh, this. Oh, that. It really felt like.
They were being nice people. They even offered you a new kitten. They're
Why
not
would I want
responsible
another
for your
sick
vet bills.
cat? Like I don't.
I don't know why.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by
They didn't breach your contract. They didn't breach
She
your
did
contract
reach
for the
she
sale
had
of
several
the kitten.
verbal contracts with me aside from the written one.
You cannot have a verbal contract once you have a written one. That's the law. If you have a written contract, the only way you can modify that written contract is by another written contract. That's the only way you can do it. She did, in fact, say to you, in breach of that contract, but I feel sorry for you. I'll give you a new kitten if you like. She wasn't obligated to do that, which you could have had tested immediately, because what your complaint was initially was that the cat was lethargic because it had this infection. Breeders don't know where the infection came from. You brought the cat home on March 25th. What was the date of your first appointment with the vet?
4/16.
So that was 3 weeks later.
I got the appointment on April 4th for the 16th. That's when I can get in.
Whatever it was, you had the kitten at home in your house for 3 weeks.
Because based on that conversation.
Sorry, Miss Isham, you don't have a case. The case is dismissed. You're done. Thank you.